Hello and welcome back to Movie Theater Explorer. This is Brent, your Movie Theater Explorer here, and today I'm going to do a review um, for this for my YouTube channel here as a way of trying to experiment with a few different things. Like besides doing my long form podcast episodes, I'd also like to try some of these short form um, segments just to put these reviews out as separate, but. So today I thought I'd experiment and talk about the movie War of the Worlds. To be clear, there's multiple versions of War of the Worlds out there, and the one I am focusing on is the 2005 version. So there are two others that I'm aware of. I think there's more than that, but the two that I'm also aware of is there's one from 1953, which is a classic. If you have not seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. Um, Especially if you're into 50 science fiction movies. But it's just good overall. Really great overall. The other one is the 2025 version, which came out last year. Um, I have not seen it. I've definitely heard a lot about it, though. Anyway, but the focus for this one today is the 2005 version. This one is directed by Steven Spielberg, and it stars Tom Cruise um, as a father who's trying to protect his two children against in an invasion, which is one played by the son played by Justin Chatwin and the daughter played by Dakota Fanning. Um, and basically, the story involves um, these aliens come, yeah, these aliens come to Earth, and they're called tripods because if you see the design, they walk like they're like big giant tripods, and so yeah, basically they come to Earth and they start basically killing a lot of people, and their plan. I mean, we don't. Yeah, I think we get enough of an idea of what they're trying to do, but not the whole plan. Basically, this whole movie's more from the perspective of Tom Cruise and his family, so we don't really get an idea of how we see elements of the army stepping in, trying to take care of the aliens and everything like that. But overall, it's mainly Tom Cruise and his family throughout this whole movie, and and so um, I picked this one up on 4K Ultra HD recently. It was on sale, and I wanted to rewatch this. I'm planning to try to rewatch all of Steven Spielberg's science fiction movies in preparation for his new one this summer called Disclosure Day. So um, I'll definitely be going through those over time. But yeah, I watched this one in my dedicated home theater. I'm just going to talk about the experience and some of the technicalities of the movie itself. Uh, I mean, production technicalities is what I mean first, and then I'll talk about the disc technicalities as well, but more of the production. Definitely, like it was definitely well shot. It definitely takes you through. Um, it definitely grounds it from their perspective, but it does open up enough to see the full scope at various points, and it how it's captured, how it's presented, like feeling like put inside these action sequences was definitely great. Um, I could definitely feel like the sound design really felt intense, like just hearing the explosion, the alien designs, um, but more of just like the subtleties of like one sequence when they're trying not to get caught. And it's a very quiet moment in a house, without going into too much details on that. You've probably seen it before and all that. I do want to get into that. I've only watched it once, um, and it was not in theaters. It was at home. This was 18 and a half years ago. So basically, it had been a very long time, and I forgot how intense this movie was. And experiencing a dedicated home theater definitely intensified a lot of things. But Yeah, definitely. Like it's, I mean, Steven Spielberg does a great job with his movies. Yeah, yeah, of course, there's ones that are much better than others, but I thought this one overall was really good and definitely, yeah, definitely really good special effects. Definitely goodwill. Definitely really good cinematography to help capture the scope of this picture, and performances are good and everything. So, um, I would say this: if this is one of those you haven't seen, and you're wanting to check more of Steven Spielberg's science fiction movies, I definitely recommend it, or I'd highly recommend it. Um, I obviously this is not like um, I've never read the original book of War of the Worlds, or actually I've never listened to the audio drama of Orson Welles. I don't. Maybe I could look up some segments out there, but or I don't know if the whole thing's available. Anyway, um, but regardless, this is not like a shot-to-shot remake of the 1953 one. Um, this is definitely its own. Um, definitely does a different retelling of this, and it definitely does it does follow different set of characters, different set of circumstances. Um, certain aspects have the similarity, mainly like the end itself. Um, but anyway, I highly recommend checking this one out if you're a fan of Steven Spielberg's works and want to check out more of his science fiction movies if you haven't seen them all. Um, and so let's go into the disc technicalities or the disc itself. So 4K Ultra HD. I experienced this in my dedicated home theater, and it was I was very pleasantly happy with the home theater presentation. First off, the picture in 4K looked great. Um, definitely, like details looked really good. Yeah, colors are not particularly the strong point, but I that feels like it's more intentional. So, I mean, there's still moments where color is there. It, but it's not like it is not to the point where it's the strongest. It's not on the level of something like Minority Report where a lot of the colors were there's a process that to describe it, but it's like, yeah, obviously where colors are more muted. So I don't think colors are that muted here, but they're obviously, I mean, they look good for what they need to be. And there's some shots and just the experience overall that are quite good. Um, but the big standpoint, and it definitely helps present the scope in a home theater. So, and then the sound in Dolby Atmos sounded great. I would say that was the strong point here. I definitely could feel like a lot of the attacks happening from the shots being shot all over, like from directional to like just feeling the impact of all of some of the bigger aspects of when these aliens attack and the when the tanks and all that arrive to take it down and everything and even the subtleties like when things are really quiet just feeling that the ambience and all that and just noticing some of those little things. So overall this was a great home theater experience, and yeah, definitely if you're looking for something that you just want to see what kind of power your home theater setup has, this, or even your home theater room, this is one I think is worth picking up to test all that. So yeah, I don't know if I would go into the words of saying it's like a demo worthy, but it's definitely a great home theater experience to just experience in the home theater. And again, that goes to like, yeah, if you're a fan of this movie, I I picked this up recently for that for a really good price. So I think I think you can get this at a really good price, and I highly recommend picking up this on 4K Ultra HD, especially if you have a home theater setup that you want to utilize more and test out. Anyway, that's it for today. And thank you again for tuning in to Movie Theater Explorer. Brent here signing off. You have a great rest of your day.